Why we attract toxic people. Do you ever wonder why toxic people like narcissists, psychopaths, and sociopaths are drawn to good people? There are several reasons why you attract toxic people if you are a good person. The people you attract, you see, have a lot to do with who you are. That doesn't necessarily mean you're doing something wrong, but you should figure out what it is about you that attracts toxic people. You may feel like a magnet for toxicity if you are a highly sensitive person or empathetic. Because narcissists, sociopaths, and toxic people gravitate toward those who are generous and compassionate, you attract them. So, if you tend to attract troubled friends or toxic partners, watch this video to learn why that is, and how to change it. 1. You are a great listener. Let's be honest. Great listeners are hard to come by these days, with so many technological distractions vying for our attention. When you find one, it's difficult not to take advantage of the once-in-a-lifetime chance to be heard. Toxic people, on the other hand, take things to a new level. When they think they can get away with it, they'll talk to you for hours. They'll ignore any and all nonverbal and verbal cues you give them. Every time they see you, they'll tell you uninvited, negative details about their lives. And they aren't interested in what you have to say because they only want to see and hear things in their own way. You might unwittingly become the target of a conversational bully or narcissist if you're good at active or empathetic listening. How do we fix it? When entering into a conversation, decide how much time you can, or wish to, spend with the other person. Limit your conversations with toxic people to no more than a few minutes. Think ahead of time about some exit lines you can use when the time is up or when a lull in the conversation develops. Here are a few examples. It was great catching up with you. Or, I'll talk to you again soon, but right now I must. Or, I've got to get back to work. The key to deploying this strategy well is to not send mixed messages. Let your body language and your words match. Of course, this will feel harsh and awkward sometimes, but it's a necessity for your own well-being. 2. You are incredibly generous with your time. The majority of people would agree that generosity is a desirable personality trait. However, be wary of toxic people who are drawn to people who are overly generous. They'll cling to you if you're willing to drop everything for them, answer all of their calls, respond to their emails promptly, and fulfill all of their requests and demands at all hours of the day. You may become increasingly resentful as they consolidate their power by demanding more and more of your valuable time. How do we fix it? Generosity without limits breeds toxicity in relationships. Begin by becoming aware of your feelings and needs in order to establish healthy and reasonable boundaries. Keep track of the times and situations when you're resentful of meeting someone else's needs. Gradually establish boundaries by declining unnecessary requests that are likely to irritate you. This will be difficult at first because it will feel self-centered. However, if you've ever flown, you know that flight attendants tell passengers to put on their own oxygen masks before helping others, including their own children. What is the reason for this? Because you can't help others if you're unable to help yourself. In the long term, establishing and enforcing boundaries will be one of the most charitable things you can do for yourself and those you care about. They will preserve the best of you so you can share yourself with many wonderful people, not just the toxic ones who try to keep you tied up. 3. You're open, honest, and trust with your dreams. Regrettably, many people choose to settle down in life. If you have big dreams and goals, you're bound to attract the attention of at least one toxic person. They may perceive you as aggressive, greedy, unrealistic, or selfish if you freely share your dreams and goals with them. They'll be ready with a word of discouragement, driven by the fear that you might actually succeed. They'll try to sow seeds of doubt and fear. They'll double down on their strategy as you start to make progress. How do we fix it? Even if they ask you about them repeatedly, never share your deepest dreams and goals with people who have proven to be toxic or closed-minded. People who have a lot of opinions but never challenge them, educate themselves, offer positive alternatives, or take action should be avoided. Surround yourself with people who are pursuing similar dreams and goals and have a track record of success to counteract their negativity. Engage with those who can help you grow. 4. You're really easygoing. The majority of us prefer to be around people who are laid back. If you're a laid-back type, you're good at keeping your cool in stressful situations and calming others down with a soothing word or witty remark. You're also likely to be patient, kind, and non-aggressive. However, the toxic person who is eager to disrupt the peace finds the inner peace you exude appealing. They might misinterpret your apparent pacifism and conclude that you're a simple target for their manipulative tactics. And you might find yourself saying yes to them more often than you realize in your weaker moments. How do we fix it? Recognize how a toxic person might try to take advantage of your laid-back personality. Your courteous words and gestures, for example, could be interpreted as an open invitation. A toxic person may take phrases like "sure, whenever you want" or "that's no problem" at all literally. They could retaliate by monopolizing your time for their own gain. Avoid the common trap of automatically agreeing to requests. Instead, make "let me get back to you on that in 10 minutes" your default response. If you do say yes, make sure your offer does not appear to be open-ended. 5. Your sunny disposition is all-inclusive. Opposites, as the saying goes, attract. People who are seeking the light may be drawn to you by the positive light you emit. You're usually the one to strike up a conversation or light up a room with your infectious smile if you have a sunny disposition. These characteristics make you enjoy being around. But they may also appeal to toxic people who want to hog everyone's attention and make the conversation about me, me, me. They are usually dissatisfied with themselves and seek validation from others. These people are deserving of your respect, but you must also respect yourself. How do we fix it? Recognize that many unhappy people are unable to find happiness within themselves, and they mistakenly believe that you can help them. They're easy to spot because they'll go out of their way to flatter you, give you gifts, or idealize you. As long as you say yes to everything, they'll be overly agreeable and willing to fulfill your requests or desires. These are red flags that you may be on the verge of succumbing to the demands of a toxic person who will eventually expect you to feed their ego 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But, even if you could cater to their every whim, you won't be able to make them happy. And you're almost certain to be unhappy as a result of it. If you find yourself in a relationship with someone like this, ask yourself if you're spending time with them because they flatter you or because you truly want to be with them. If you answered yes to the first question, don't be afraid to take a breather. Afterthoughts. The goodness and positivity you bring to the world are truly priceless gifts. Keep negative influences away from these gifts. Invest in people and situations that will enhance rather than detract from your efforts. Don't let the fact that your positive traits may inadvertently attract toxic people stop you from being yourself. Simply be aware of this reality so that you can better spot danger and take proactive, protective measures when it occurs. Consider how your positive gifts can help to transform negativity in an indirect way. Your light can be a shining example to those who mean well but are unaware of their toxic tendencies, just as light dispels darkness. Even if you'll need to limit your contact with them, don't discount the possibility that your example will influence them in the long run, for the better or for the worse. The floor is yours. What are your experiences with toxic people? What have you done to cope with their behavior? What have you done to let your light shine anyway? Please share your thoughts by leaving a comment below. If you got some value from the video, give it a thumbs up. Share with your family and friends. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon.